This deal is super important for our company. There's no way someone like you, with just a junior high school diploma, can handle it. I'll take care of it." With that, my manager, Teresa, took over the big deal I was supposed to handle. But she didn't realize something crucial. This deal had to be conducted in German. My name is Megan. I'm 40 years old, and I'm an office worker. My husband, Chris, is the same age, and although we don't have kids, we have a great relationship. We've never had a major fight and spend our weekends shopping together. If only work were going as smoothly. Unfortunately, I have a troublesome manager named Teresa. She joined our company a year ago and graduated from a well-known university. She had an impressive track record at her previous job and is considered an elite. I don't mind that at all. In fact, it's a good thing. However, she flaunts her elite status and looks down on other employees. "You can't even do this? I guess people from regional universities are hopeless. This task should only take an hour. Well, if you're as elite as me, it'll take just 30 minutes. She'd say, making snide remarks without hesitation. The person who suffers the most from her is me. "Megan, didn't you only graduate junior high school? You're at the bottom of society. If you have time to work, you should be studying." She'd hurl these insults at me at least 3 times a day. Yes, I did only finish junior high school before getting this job. I had the grades to go to high school, but my parents died when I was in 1st grade, and my uncle took me in. He had 5 other kids and wasn't particularly well off. Plus, he got seriously ill and couldn't work long hours anymore, with medical bills piling up. My uncle never said it outright, but he probably wanted us to start working as soon as possible.
"It's tough to send everyone to high school,"
he said once. So I chose to work after middle school. I wanted to go to high school, but didn't have any clear dreams. I'll just graduate from high school or college and work somewhere, I vaguely thought. In our tough financial situation, I felt it was wrong to pursue further education when one of my cousins, Derek, wanted to become a researcher. He was 2 years younger than me and needed to go to graduate school, which costs money. Not wanting to crush others' dreams, I started working at my current company and sent money home. Derek is now a respected researcher and an associate professor. He always thanks me when we meet during holidays, saying he's grateful for what I did. Being a researcher is tough, but he seems to enjoy it. If he is happy, then my sacrifice was worth it, and I'm not ashamed of not finishing high school. Our company doesn't prioritize academic qualifications, which has helped me not feel out of place. However, Teresa seems to be obsessed with academic credentials and has belittled me as a junior high school graduate for the past year. She'll probably continue to do so, but I actually hold a bachelor's degree now. I passed the high school equivalency exam and graduated from an online university while working. Derek encouraged me to do it.
"Even online universities offer specialized learning. It's cheaper than attending a 4-year college. If there's something you're interested in, why not give it a try?" he said. I found a subject I wanted to study, worked hard, and graduated. Of course, Teresa knows about this.
"Online universities aren't real universities. They have easy admissions. You're not on my level," she says, refusing to acknowledge my achievement. Legally, an online university degree is recognized as a bachelor's, and working while studying isn't easy. But the upper management at my company recognized my efforts and even gave me a raise. Chris told me,
"Online universities aren't well known and some people don't see them as legitimate. But if upper management acknowledges you, that's what matters. Ignore people like Teresa."
I agreed and decided not to let it bother me. One day, I was having lunch with my colleagues and mentioned that it was my wedding anniversary. They congratulated me, but later that evening, an incident occurred. I planned to go home and celebrate with my husband since I didn't need to work late. But Teresa came over with a smug smile and a stack of documents. These need to be done by tomorrow. Work overtime and finish them. Don't get too carried away just because it's your anniversary, she said. She must have heard about my anniversary and couldn't stand seeing me happy, so she came up with this nasty plan. As a professional, you should prioritize work over your personal life. You can see your husband anytime, she added with a nasty grin before leaving. Stunned, I stared at the documents until a male coworker checked them and said,
Megan, this isn't urgent. Teresa's just being mean. Go home and enjoy your anniversary. I snapped out of it and confirmed the deadline, which was a month away. You're right. I'll head home then, I said and left. It was clear that Teresa was disliked by everyone. She had zero respect from her subordinates, but she was competent, so no one openly complained. I enjoyed my anniversary with my husband knowing that Teresa would probably grumble the next day. But I had a valid reason. The deadline was still far off. The next day, as expected, she tried to scold me. Excuse me, but you were just trying to make me work late out of spite, right? The real deadline is a month away, so there was no need to rush it, I said firmly, and she fell silent, caught off guard. That ended the matter for now. A week later, I was assigned a significant deal. It was the biggest task I'd ever been given, and I was determined to succeed. I coordinated with the client and we set a date for the meeting. But the day before, a major issue arose. The client sent an email saying, We've been informed that Teresa will be handling the deal since you're too busy. Thank you for your assistance so far. I was shocked. What? How could this be? I hadn't taken on any urgent tasks, nor had I heard about a change in responsibility. I decided to confront Teresa. I wasn't told about any changes to the deal. What's going on? She smirked. There's nothing to discuss. Someone who can't even work overtime can't handle such a big deal. This is a job for someone like me. I informed the client of the change for you. Clearly, she was still holding a grudge over my anniversary. She had been waiting for a chance to get back at me and decided to take over this deal. But I couldn't let her take it for such petty reasons. Changing the person in charge suddenly will inconvenience the client. Do you even know what kind of company they are? I already told them about the change, so it's too late. I did my homework. It's a company in Germany, right? But they speak English, so there's no problem. I'll handle this smoothly. Actually, they don't. Stop making excuses. This deal is very important for our company. There's no way a junior high school graduate like you can handle it. I'll take care of it. She cut me off and leaned back in her chair, but I grew more anxious. This deal had to be conducted in German. I wanted to explain that to her, but she started bragging about her academic background. It was getting annoying, so I said, All right, you're an elite, right? Good luck with the meeting in German. She looked shocked and froze. Wait, what do you mean by a meeting in German? This deal you took from me has to be conducted in German. English doesn't work. But she just sneered. Stop lying. I exchanged emails in English with them. Someone there speaks English, so we can just do the meeting in English, right? She clearly didn't understand. I decided to explain from the beginning. Yes, someone at the client company does speak English, but that person is leaving today due to a sudden illness. There's no one else who speaks English, so they requested someone who can speak German for the meeting. What? She was so shocked she fell out of her chair. It was like something out of a comic, and I couldn't help but laugh.
Embarrassed, she turned red and snapped. What about you? You can't speak German either. But her reaction after falling took away any impact. I tried to keep a straight face as I explained my language skills. Actually, I can speak German. I studied it in college. That online university you look down on actually comes in handy. That's right. I studied German in college, so I can read, write, and converse in German without any issues. My interest in German started with my husband, who works for a company that deals with overseas clients. He speaks French and German fluently. On our honeymoon in Germany, I saw how he communicated effortlessly with locals, and it made me want to learn a foreign language too. I considered French, but I felt a special connection to Germany after our trip, so I started learning German on my own. Then Derek suggested I attend an online university, and that's how I ended up studying there. I wanted to use my skills at work, which led me to engage with German companies and secure this deal. When I explained all this to Teresa, she finally fell silent. If you can't speak the language, you can't handle the deal. So, I'll take it, alright? I thought she'd give up, but she was stubborn. She thought for a moment, and her face lit up. Actually, I'll handle the deal. I just remembered. I took German as my second language in college. My elite brain will remember it in no time. Despite what she said, I was worried. Her college days were decades ago. She'd probably forgotten everything and was just trying to save face. She couldn't possibly manage the deal, let alone casual conversation in German. If she made a mistake, it would damage the company's reputation. So, I made a suggestion. Please let me join the meeting as your assistant. I'll just support you and won't overstep. The words support and not overstep seemed to work, and she agreed happily. All right, if you insist. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow then. I sighed inwardly as I thanked her. Why did I have to grovel? But if I didn't, she wouldn't let me join the meeting. No one else in the company spoke German, so I had to be there. Otherwise, the deal would fall apart. That was not an option. The next day, the meeting started as planned. The client was in Germany, so we met online. Teresa was very confident before the meeting. The internet is great. You can look up anything you don't know right away. I reviewed everything and it all came back to me. Her words made me hope my worries were unfounded, but that hope was quickly dashed. As soon as the German client started speaking, she turned pale. She kept glancing at me, her eyes clearly begging for help. I stepped in and started speaking German. Teresa didn't say a word after that, staying silent the whole time. I explained, she's not feeling well, and continued the conversation in German. In the end, the deal was successful and we secured the contract. After the meeting, I was thrilled, but Teresa looked defeated. I couldn't understand a word, she muttered, looking lost. I delivered the final blow. Now you see who should be handling these deals? I'll take it from here. Fine, she said reluctantly. She knew she was out of her depth and gave up. I thought that would be the end of it, but things got even worse for her. We went to the CEO's office to report the outcome. This deal was crucial for the company's performance, so we needed to update him immediately. When we entered, the CEO asked, "How did it go?" I told him the deal was a success, and he praised me. "Great job, Megan. Securing such a big deal with an overseas company is fantastic." "Thank you," I replied, happy to be acknowledged. The CEO had hired and nurtured me when I was just a junior high school graduate. He celebrated my graduation from college as if it were his own achievement. Succeeding in this deal felt like paying him back a little. Then, Teresa spoke up. I was there too, overseeing her performance. I'm proud of her as her manager. How could she lie so blatantly? She had been useless and even tried to take the deal from me without knowing German. I considered telling the CEO the truth, but he spoke first. His expression turned serious. "Teresa, I received a strange email right after the meeting.
The client said they were informed of a sudden change in the person in charge, but ended up working mainly with Megan. They wanted to know who the actual point of contact was. I haven't heard a word about any change in the person in charge.
Well, there must be some misunderstanding on the client's part. She tried to deflect, but I explained everything. The CEO wasn't happy.
Teresa, you almost cost us the deal. Megan saved us. If it weren't for her, we would have lost this deal and damaged our reputation.
Realizing her mistake, Teresa started apologizing profusely. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. But the CEO wasn't having it.
I've heard you've been bullying employees based on their educational background. We don't need such behavior here, so you're fired.
Teresa clung to him, crying. You can't be serious. I'm one of the top performers here. Losing me would hurt the company. But the CEO was firm.
This isn't a joke. Sure, you're good at your job, but you're dragging others down. We value teamwork and conduct as much as performance. I told you that when you joined.
But as an elite employee, I deliver results. I just wanted my team to understand the importance of results. She pleaded, but the CEO cut her off.
You were just looking down on everyone. There are plenty of companies that value only results. You should just join one of them. We don't need you here.
Realizing she couldn't win, she finally gave in. All right, she said, accepting her termination. Word of her firing spread quickly through the company. People didn't say it outright, but they seemed relieved. She stayed for a while to hand over her work, but acted overly friendly, praising everyone. This is how you do it. Great job, she'd say, trying to be nice. She even tried to be friendly to me, but it didn't seem sincere. Are you trying to get back in everyone's good graces to avoid being fired? It's too late for that. I told her bluntly, and she froze. It was foolish of her to think she could change her attitude and get away with everything. She left the company soon after. Finding another job was tough at her age, and she ended up working part-time at a restaurant. Some employees saw her working there. The so-called elite was struggling with customer service, dropping food, and messing up change. She even got scolded by the manager behind the restaurant. Soon she disappeared from the restaurant too. Later, I saw her near a train station. She was dirty and thin, likely homeless. All her past actions had caught up with her, and she was now miserable. It was karma. Meanwhile, I maintained a good relationship with a German company and continued to do well at work. My salary increased and everything was going great. My husband and I were planning another trip to Germany. Derek was also making strides in his research, publishing new findings. Despite the hardships Teresa caused, I'm now living a happy life. I hope these peaceful days continue as I work hard every day.